Hello there, and welcome to the Cinema Asylum podcast review award. Today we're going to be talking about Batman Cape Crusader Season 1. I'm Dylan. I'm one of two superhero and sci-fi experts, the better looking one at that.
I'm Matthew, the smarter looking one.
The smarter looking one. Well, I mean, that's a descriptor, I guess.
This is off to a wonderful start.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm Matthew, the other superhero and sci-fi expert. That's smarter. Leave it at that.
Oh, goodness gracious. And I am John Thompson. I am the action and animation expert and also...
The old-looking one.
Shut up. And also the diehard Batman fan because we're wearing Batman for the Cape Crusader show. But in all seriousness, welcome back to the Simpson Podcast, guys. Great to see you all
I
again.
think this is going to be quite a batty episode.
Matthew, it's not going in the bank, bud.
I know, I just had to do that one. You know what was required for a Batman episode.
I guess. Holy shit. You
But,
better not have any more in your belfry.
But yeah, as a diehard Batman fan, I was pretty excited for this show.
Me
I
too.
was really looking forward to it. So,
We got some good and we got some bad.
do we
I say
though?
more good than bad with
Definitely.
this. Like,
Yeah.
there's...
There's a few glaring issues.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a lot more forgiving, which should be no surprise.
Yeah, I have a lot of good to say about it. So
I do too.
Yeah.
Before we get into this, spoilers.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
If you haven't watched the season yet, please go watch that, come back and watch this, or continue at your own peril.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
not recapping anymore, so this is just us talking about our favorite stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we agreed not to recap a long time ago. It's just Crisis on Infinite Earths was a special case.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shit going on in that, and it took a lot to process.
Yes.
We were still processing that episode. So.
Yeah, so that's why we had to recap that.
Yeah. So we're safe this time. It's fine.
Yeah.
We won't be doing that.
Yeah. So before we get to the actual review, a lot of talent were involved in making up the show. I mean,
Yeah.
you got executive producers, J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves of the original guy that did Batman the Animated Series, also is
Yep,
one of the
Bruce Timm.
executive producers. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of talent involved, and I mean, that show was hyped for real.
If
when
you're living under a rock, sorry, John.
you're fine.
If you're living under a rock, J.J. Abrams is. I cannot talk today.
J.J. Abrams did did The Force Awakens. He did Rise of Skywalker. He did Super 8. He did the first two Star Trek reboot movies.
That's what I was trying to say. He revitalized Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves did The Batman
Yeah.
2022 with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. So
and
good.
Bruce Timm did Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a lot.
Talk about an amazing trio. Like, when you put those trio together, you expect the show to be at least good, right?
Yeah. And they blew past that barrier.
Yeah, they did.
This was really good.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about it and see what we think of it.
Let's say some of the cast members involved.
Yeah. So I know that he's appeared in other things. They are not coming to my mind, but the new voice of Batman is Hamish Linklater.
Yes.
And he was in Midnight Mass, for anybody who might know. Again, like, I feel like he's somebody that you would recognize if you saw
Right.
him. He surprised me here. I
I
could
really
barely tell that it
enjoyed
was
his voice,
him.
yeah.
He nailed it.
It was kind of Kevin Conroy inspired, but it was his own thing.
Well, yeah, I saw.
Because he didn't want to be Kevin Conroy. He wanted to try to differentiate himself.
Well, he wanted to try to honor the legacy of Kevin Conroy too.
But he also wanted to differentiate.
Yeah. He didn't want to be like the next Kevin Conroy. He didn't want to be the guy to replace him. He wanted to do something else.
Yeah.
But he said that the end product of it, because I barely recognized that it was him.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't know that was who was playing Batman, I would have never guessed. It's just he has a wildly different voice in everything else I've seen him in. But he said that he was super surprised, pleasantly, once he got to hear the final product. And I'm right there with him. I thought it was really good. I liked it.
I might
a
say
lot.
he's my third favorite animated Batman voice.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, number one, Kevin.
No, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's no other option. I really like Jason O'Mara.
Yeah, he was good. I liked him too.
I really like Jason O'Mara, so he's number two. So he's, yeah. Hamish is number three.
Oh no, Dieter Bader is going to be my number one, baby.
Yeah,
Speaking
well,
of which,
yeah, speaking of which.
yeah.
he played Two-Face.
hmm I called it immediately too.
Yeah, you did.
I totally spaced on the entire cast with the exception of Hamish. Hamish.
Yeah.
I totally spaced on all that. So I was jumping out of my seat as soon as I heard his voice.
I know you were. For the record, guys, Dylan and I watched this together.
Yeah.
We binged it all in one night.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was.
Yeah, I binged the show in 2 days. I watched it on Friday and
Those are
Saturday.
rookie numbers. We get McKenna Grace,
Yeah,
As
yeah,
Nocturna.
Nocturne, yeah.
Christina Ricci as Catwoman,
Mm-hmm.
Minnie Driver, who the thing I know her from is the show Speechless.
Right.
She played Penguin.
Yeah, Oswalda.
Oswalda. One of the things we might talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
It was different, but it worked.
I agree.
I'm trying to think of anybody else that's like big name.
In the voice industry, John DiMaggio was in there.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was mostly background voices, I believe. Same as Yuri Lowenthal,
Yeah.
which I think the earliest we hear him is the second episode, as one of Clayface's victims.
Okay.
That was the first instance I got of hearing him in the show, or at least I remember. I thought the credits at one point said that David Krumholtz was in it.
I don't remember.
Well, like the credits flew by,
They
and
did. They
Amazon
were so
didn't give us
fast.
a chance. Prime didn't give a chance. It just like immediately played the next episode, basically.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to see everybody that was in the credits. The John DiMaggio one was actually a really nice reference, in my opinion. Even though like John DiMaggio again is a major voice in the voice industry.
Yeah.
But he was also the voice of the Joker multiple times.
Yeah. Under the Red Hood's one of the.
Yeah. That was the main one that came to mind.
Yeah. Party pooper, no cake for you.
I actually didn't know that he voiced the Joker in Batman Under Red Hood.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know that because all I knowed him was from the Ice Age movies that I grew up watching. But that's really interesting.
You'll be
Who the
as
hell was
quiet
he
as
in
possible
Ice
when the next
Age?
one goes in your lap.
Who was he in Ice Age?
Sid.
John DiMaggio?
Yeah. Oh wait, I might be thinking something else. I might be thinking John Leguizamo. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
there are
I
lots
thought
of
that I would
there's a
recognize
lot
John
of
DiMaggio.
there's a lot of popular Johns out there, but that I digress.
Oh, is that your new theme song, Popular John?
I mean, it could be. I
This is
mean, I
intro on
can
OnlyFans.
sing. Like you can let me write the lyrics down to all the popular Johns. but anyways,
Make it stop.
They did a lot of really different things with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that. Here,
One more thing before we jump into the actual episode
yeah,
and stuff.
go ahead.
The score.
The score was good.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Frederick Wiseman. He's done some of the Justice League animated movies. He did Justice League War, I believe. I believe he did Flashpoint.
Okay.
He's done several of the animated DC movies, though. Not the older ones, the direct-to-DVD ones.
Right.
Yeah, he's done at least 4 or 5.
Sorry, I'm pulling up.
You're prepared.
Huh?
You're prepared this time.
I wouldn't say that.
I am prepared for Rebel Moon. I've started to write stuff down.
Yeah, I didn't. Rebel Moon is the reason why I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah. I'm prepared for Rebel Moon, so.
No, shit. I read a thing about Bumper Robinson was in this. I want to call him out because I was reading some trivia earlier for some Marvel shows. But Bumper Robinson was in it. Bumper Robinson. Holy crap! I'm sorry.
that's all right.
He
What is
was
today?
in Avengers Assemble as Falcon.
Okay.
And he was also in Earth's Mightiest Avengers as or Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes as I'm spacing.
Now it's your turn to mess up.
Well, I read a bunch of trivia, so like everything's running together now. My mind, especially after watching part 2 of Rebel Moon today, like that was.
I watched it all in one sitting.
You're stronger than me. I couldn't have done it.
I am, yes.
But that's for like another
Yeah,
episode.
we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, I was just getting to John DiMaggio's works, and there was lots of movies that I recognized. I was like, oh, okay, so
Yeah,
there you
he's
go.
been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
he
He's
really
like
is one of the top ones.
He's like one of the overlords of voice acting.
He really is.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to find something where he's not in it.
yeah. Now he's starting to become another one of my favorite voice actors. Yeah, he's pretty great at lots of things he does.
Other people that we missed for the cast, Roger Craig Smith, who's known as voice for Captain America, along with other roles, like other major roles, but that's the first one that comes to mind for me. Tom Kenny was in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I called him out like immediately too.
he played Penguin on the Batman.
Yeah. He's also known for SpongeBob.
Yeah,
Like
I never watched SpongeBob, so.
I know that's probably the reason why that had come to mind for you.
But yeah, we're actually doing a review of the Batman 2004 later this year.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
John, get on watching that so you could help us.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll totally watch it. Trust me, I'll tell people.
You got till October. Hurry up.
I got plenty of time, guys. I got plenty of
It's
time.
like 60 episodes, so make sure you have time.
Wait. Speaking of another thing, but good thing about that is the animation quality. It looks amazing. I was
Yeah, this
getting
was
Batman the
great.
Animated Series vibes with the
Well,
animation.
it's Bruce Timm.
Well,
Yeah.
I was getting a cross between Brave and the Bold, which I know that you said that you didn't really like or
Right.
watch Brave and the Bold.
I
I
got,
was
like,
getting a
halfway
cross
through the
between
first
that
season.
and it was for me a cross between that and Batman the Animated Series in terms of design and overall art style.
Well, this is what Bruce Timm originally wanted.
Yeah, I know.
He
I know.
originally wanted a noir 40 set show,
Yeah.
and they had to compromise with Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is his original dream. And it's obviously a bit darker compared to what the animated series was, because the animated series obviously was made for kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though it blew expectations and became one of the most celebrated TV shows of all time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
A couple names that I want to throw out were Greg Griffin, who's known as the voice of Daphne, along with
Daphne.
Azuka. I'm spacing. I'm not
She
the
was in
biggest
Avatar,
yeah, I'm not the biggest Avatar fan.
Neither am I.
But
Well-
she's another like top voice actor in the industry.
Paul's going to come over here and firebend us.
He probably is. Oh my god. James Arnold Taylor. He's the voice of Obi-Wan in
Yep.
Clone Wars.
Oh, nice.
Again, he's another big voice actor. You can catch him in a lot of
He's in
different
that
roles.
other podcast I also do, that Grace Begins podcast. They did an episode with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, David. Yeah, David Krumholtz was in this as Fletcher Demings.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned him.
Yeah.
You're like,
I was curious. I couldn't remember like who he fucking was.
yeah.
And like, holy, did you place Haley Joel Osment being in this?
I remember reading that, but I forgot he was in that.
I totally didn't. I didn't catch him in the credits for that.
Yeah, I didn't see who he played.
Anton. I think it's from the
Clayface episode.
was it?
I believe he was one of like the guys working in the studio.
Maybe. Oh no.
I don't know.
No, there a lot of fucking characters were in this.
Yeah.
A lot of characters, a lot of voice talent.
Haley Joel Osment. Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
From the
well,
Sixth Sense.
That is crazy.
That's the little kid.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool stuff there.
he's done a lot of voice acting too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of back alley stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. That's
When he pops up, I know that's going to be good.
Yeah. That's really cool. Wow. I wonder how he felt when he found out that he was going to be in Kate Crusader's show. It was like, I'm being a Batman show. All right.
Well, I mean, he's been in other superhero projects. He was in The Boys.
Oh, okay.
Did you not know that?
No, I don't watch The Boys.
Well, I mean, yeah. But no, he plays a kind of Doogie Howser kind of character.
Okay.
A child actor. He ended up like burning out after he after he grew up and stuff. Like he got kicked off his basically Young Justice team because he grew up.
Oh,
It
boy.
was a big thing. He's only in it for a couple episodes. He was also in a show called Future Man.
Okay. Young Justice gets canceled again before it gets finished.
Well, I think it was more like a Teen Titans thing, but I don't know. I'd have to rewatch.
I'm just saying, like, Young Justice got canceled after season 2.
Yeah.
And then they pick it back up, and now they cancel again before they finish.
That's
The
weird.
disrespect.
That's so weird.
I hope James Gunn revives that.
Give us just one more season to end it.
Yeah, please.
Give it a
It
proper
deserves the
ending.
sun. Yeah, it deserves it.
After all the dirty it's gotten. It's been done so dirty.
Show was revamped, then it was canceled. Revamped, canceled. Revamped, canceled.
So is the way of DC.
Yeah.
No, the cast was super stacked for this. I think that everybody really nailed it. Honestly, the casting
Absolutely.
was pretty on par.
I agree.
I loved it. No, what were some of the highlights for you guys?
I'll just go on. Before I dive into details, let's just start with our favorite episode.
Okay.
Because
Ooh.
I'm gonna dive into the next thing.
Well, my favorite one was the Clayface one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I just first of all I love old Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like I love that kind of aesthetic and the
Retro
fact that that's
horror
what.
movies.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what they were going for
Phantom of
with
the
here.
Opera, Universal Monster.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they nailed it with that episode.
It was amazing.
Clayface is also just one of my favorite characters in general.
Yeah.
I think that he's a super interesting villain without having a like a sad kind of backstory the same way that Mr. Freeze does.
Right.
Which that's something that I really love about Mr. Freeze.
I hope we get this Clayface in the Matt Reeves universe, not the Mud Monster.
Yeah.
I will take the old horror movie villain.
Well, like I don't mind the Mud Monster thing, but I also don't think that the Mud Monster thing will work in Reeves'
Matt Reeves.
universe.
Yeah, it won't.
Like I do
This will
prefer
work.
this. Yeah.
This would work.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Yeah, I'd be super happy with it.
Man, I gotta be honest with you. It's so tough because I loved all the episodes, honestly. Like, I was so intrigued by all of it. But
they were all really
But
good.
I gotta say, I would probably say the one that has a lot of action when they were trying to protect Clayface. I mean, that was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, great car sequences, great gun sequences too. Like, it was fantastic stuff. What I was seeing, but the one that really got me, which I find is so odd, Barbara Gordon wanted to be her attorney to protect Two-Face. That was quite different. I was like, but Two-Face is the villain. What are you doing? Like, that was very interesting.
It was. Yeah.
That they would do that. But you know what? It's a different type of Batman, and I was like, I'll accept it. So I was totally fine with what they were doing. Two-Face's design was very interesting, but very well done. I like when they do different designs of each of the villains. Are we getting to the Harley Quinn design? Are we gonna get to it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit because I want to talk about the Two-Face design too.
I didn't really care for the two. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite.
I personally, if they would have given him discolorment, if they would have made like the right half of his face like pink or green or something, like one of the go-to colors for Two-Face's other half, I think it would have been a lot better for me personally as a fan.
It would have made it better. Overall, my favorite still is the Dark Knight version with the face melted off. Like,
well, I mean that was still like a dash of color too.
It was a color, but like with like you could actually see like the chunks missing and stuff.
Yeah,
like it actually looked burned.
Yeah, understandable.
That's still my favorite design.
Yeah, it's very odd that he has Two-Face, but the face never gets burned in the K Crusader version. Like you see that it's actually burned, but it's not like color sided.
Yeah, see, I feel like that would have helped a lot.
It looked like a really mild burn compared to.
Yeah, it looked like he just had like fucked up mouth surgery.
Yeah.
That's all it really looked like.
Yeah, but you know what? I accepted it because I was loving what I was seeing, and I would just think to myself, well, it takes place in the 40s, 50s, or 60s, so hey, why not? You might as well.
Well, I mean, the design didn't ruin it. I love the story. I love the routes that they took with it.
Yeah, I did.
It's just I wasn't a big fan of the design. I didn't let that ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. I was gonna say it looks more like he has stitches in his face than anything else.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it was like super botched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the show took place in 1939.
Okay.
I believe they confirmed that,
Oh.
which is the year the Batman comics first started.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
So this is very much year one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which can I say? I love the Batman costume. The costume is great.
That's first appearance Batman.
Well, aside from the fact that the gloves weren't purple.
Well, yeah.
That if you're gonna go that route, make the fucking gloves purple. I'm just saying. Like, please. Like, I get the
Purple's
uniformity,
my favorite
but
color,
like,
so why not?
well, I
Joke
mean,
was
just
on them.
go the full yard with it. Like you stopped after out of the 100 yards you sprinted, you stopped at the 99-yard mark. like, you just stopped there and you kind of just sat down. Like, I feel like you could have gone a little bit further with it. But what was your favorite episode?
It was the Clayface one. That's what.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Well, that was gives the Universal Monsters vibes.
Yeah.
The opera, Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love. Like, I'm not the biggest horror fan. I like a good chunk.
Yeah.
But like outside of sci-fi horror, my love for horror movies is really set in like the mid-20s through the 50s.
Yeah, like the golden age of Hollywood. Yeah.
I will take an old like 30s horror movie over any modern horror movie. Really.
Same.
House on Haunted Hill, White Zombie, Nosferatu, Dracula, Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera. I'll take all that.
Same.
Yeah,
I'd trade everything for it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just something magical about an old black and white, like, classic horror movie.
Well, there is, and the tricks that they were able to pull off back then too only makes it even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had to be inventive back then.
Right.
They did not have the technology. As what's that show, The $6 Million Man? We have the technology.
Oh
They
yeah.
don't have the technology.
I don't know, they did some pretty sick shit back then.
Yeah.
True.
In a way, not to get too sidetracked, we've lost innovation because there's so much done by computer now
Yeah, that's true.
that you can't.
There's not enough practicality.
Yeah, you miss the days when you had to be innovative.
Yeah.
But that's another episode for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could go on
That's
for
an
hours
entire
about
topic.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do an episode on that one day.
I'd be super down for it.
But yeah, but the Two-Face protection episodes, those were my favorite episodes. I love all of them, but the Two-Face one always intrigues me.
Well, I mean, I feel like that was the one that was given the most room to
Yeah.
breathe.
And is it just me, or do I feel like the Two-Face is one of the more underappreciated villains? Because when they think of greatest DC villains, they always think of like Joker or Harley Quinn, and there's not like Catwoman, the Penguin, but Two-Face I haven't seen like appear much like in a lot of movies. The only two feature-length movies like in terms of theatrical was Batman Forever and The Dark Knight. That's it. Nothing else.
There's not many Batman live action movies, like theater movies, though.
Right.
Batman's got such a great rogues gallery. Like,
Yeah.
you can't expect everyone to be in every movie.
True.
Right.
But we need more Two-Face. Matt Reeves has got to put like Two-Face like in the next Batman installment. That has got to happen.
Listen, we'll end up talking about our expectations for the next season later. But I'm just going to throw out, since we're on the topic of Rogues Gallery appearing in this, where the fuck was Condiment King? Yeah, where the fuck was my boy? Are you kidding me?
I knew exactly where you were going. I was like, not Condiment King.
That man needs to show up somewhere, whether it's in the Reeves-verse or in this.
This.
Both.
No.
Listen, Pattinson said that he wanted Condiment King to show up.
And you know what?
It
I
could be
agree
a
with
5-minute
Dyllan.
stop.
I agree with him.
Yeah, please. I think that they could do it as like a quick little throwaway thing. I'd be super happy with it.
Absolutely.
It's not like a main villain thing. Like,
No, I'm not asking for a main villain thing.
Okay.
He wasn't even a main villain in his original thing. Like I
just have it as like a quick joke, like fear me, and then Batman punches him with one hit.
Yeah, like a quick little like stop and go. Like, all right, I caught the dude. All right, fuck off. I'm going somewhere else where I'm actually needed. Like, I'm not asking for a major thing.
Okay.
Although
I
I'd
am
take
hoping, like, not to get too far off track, but with the Batman, they're calling it the Batman Epic Crime Saga. I'm hoping that means between miniseries and movies, we get 12 things.
That'd be nice.
Absolutely.
I'd be super down for that.
Like maybe 6 movies, 6 shows, or 9 movies, 3 shows, or something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I love that, honestly. Yeah. They could go for a while, and I'd be super down for it.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves and Robert Wood go for it, too. Like, they're both huge Batman fans.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So as long as the studio will let them, I'm sure they do it.
Yeah.
Which, the Penguin review comes very soon. Can't wait to talk about the Penguin TV show when it comes out on HBO Max. Looking forward to it.
I'm going to save my thoughts about the Penguin for later.
Well, there you go.
I don't want to get off
you mean
off topic
Oswaldo?
about it. Well, I wasn't talking about Oswaldo.
Oh,
I was talking about the show.
yeah. But speaking of Oswalda, yeah, Mindy Driver plays gender swap penguin.
Yeah, and it works really well. Honestly, I like the differences that they had here.
It was not. It wasn't a cheap throwaway. It actually did work.
Yeah,
Because sometimes they do that just for the sake of doing it,
yeah.
and it did work. It actually did make sense.
Well, I mean, I like something that I've never been the biggest fan of with Oswald is that he's supposed to be a mob guy.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to be a mafioso, and it's never really clicked for me. I don't know why, but Oswalda, it worked 1000%.
Absolutely.
Like I think that they nailed what they were going for here.
Gotham still is the best penguin.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. The Penguins never seem like much of a threat to me.
He never really is. He's more like behind the scenes, like orchestrating.
Yeah. But like Oswalda wasn't even that different from that.
Right.
Like it's not like she was posing a major threat. The way that they put it in the show was that she was holding the crime families all together, like keeping everybody at bay, making sure everything was shared throughout.
Yeah.
And so she wasn't a major
Physical threat.
Yeah, and same as Oswald. Like he was never a major physical threat. Like you said, he was always been a behind the scenes kind of guy. And Oswaldo was too.
The puppet master kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the things that they did was they made Oswalda more charismatic.
Yes.
I think that's what made her a better version, in my opinion, than like all the other Penguins I've seen.
Yeah.
Like this one really stood out to me. Aside from the major difference of the fact that this penguin was a woman,
Yeah.
that made her stand out really well because when we first see her, she's singing in the Iceberg Lounge,
Yeah.
and everybody's treating her super well, and everybody's like showering her with praise and stuff like that. It's like you never get that with the penguin, like with Oswald.
He's like the laughing stock.
Yeah. And they just made her super charismatic, and that worked wonders. Like I loved this because of that.
I did too. Yeah.
Like, I just thought that worked super well. I loved it.
Minnie Driver's a great singer.
Yeah, she is. No, I think that this is the first time that I ever heard her sing.
Yeah.
It was
I was a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can I say this real quickly too? Also, to all people that are like mad that the Penguin is a woman, can we stop with that controversy, please? Like I saw an angry emoji down the Facebook comments when they actually saw that, and I was thinking, seriously, guys, like, why you have to be so mean?
There's
like,
worse things to be upset about other than a fucking creepoid being recast as a woman.
Exactly.
There's worse things to be mad about. Like, just get out of your basement, go touch grass.
Yeah, exactly. Like, screw that. Goodbye. Like, stop.
Yeah, that's not a complaint. That's not even a criticism. That's just you being a punk.
Exactly.
Not even the good kind of punk.
No.
If it fits the character, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Right.
It's when they completely change the element of the character.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, we will.
For instance, getting a little bit off track here, real quick.
As always.
Yeah. But it still fits into DC. Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl.
Yeah, 100%.
Him being Captain America is not Jimmy Olsen.
No.
It didn't matter that he was no longer a redhead. What mattered was the fact that he was now Captain America instead of a nerdy little photographer.
Right. Well, I mean, even My Adventures with Superman was a better version of Jimmy than the one in Supergirl.
Yes.
Like,
and that was still a race change too, and it still worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fact that they completely revitalized what it meant to be Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Well, I mean, the point that I was making kind of falls along those lines, but they didn't. Making Penguin charismatic was the only difference, really. It works out. Like, it doesn't matter whether it would have been a man or a woman. If they would have made this version of Penguin a man, but still just as charismatic as they made the woman version, as they made Oswalda,
Yeah.
like it still would have been my favorite.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the fact that they made it a woman.
Right.
It just I don't know. I knew that there were going to be dumb people commenting about that kind of stuff here. That's always to be expected.
Now, since we're on this, we'll get to the one that is a fundamental change to the character, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go last on this one if you guys want to go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I was all right with this version of Harley Quinn.
It is not Harley Quinn though.
Yeah. This is Harley Quinn in recent years has been made to be her own character, where she's not being Joker dependent. And I get that it's a little difficult to have Harley Quinn without having that Joker origin. I understand that. But you could still pull it off. This was not pulling it off, in my opinion. I was okay with this, but I wasn't blown away. I feel like they could have still gone with the kind of character that Harley was before.
This would have been a lot better if it was a new character.
Yeah.
Because not even just to get into the technical aspects of the costume, there's no red and black costume.
Well, like I was okay with the coloring on this costume because this is more traditional Jester coloring.
Yeah.
Like the red and black was obviously a play on the cards in the TAS.
Yeah.
I was okay with the coloring here. It's just that's not Harley Quinn to me. Those colors aren't Harley Quinn to me. No, it's
not. And she seemed more Jigsaw than funny. Like she seemed to have more like a Jigsaw from Saw element to her.
Yeah.
She wasn't even funny. And that's something that's been a thing in recent years that I kind of like roll my eyes at. Oh, this movie's not fun enough. But Harley Quinn is supposed to be fun.
Right.
Harley Quinn is hilarious. And it doesn't work.
Well, in my opinion, and we'll get I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the last things that we talk about, so I'm not really going to mention it much other than this. There's no point in making Harley Quinn this way, because this is more akin to Joker.
Yes.
Like Joker's a fucked up dude.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn isn't as fucked up. This was fucked up.
Yes.
There's no point in making Harley Quinn like this, make her so Jokerless that she stops really becoming, or that she really stops being Harley Quinn. There's no point in doing that if you're going to have Joker anyway.
Right.
And we'll talk about that later. That's the thing that we'll discuss. It's just, I don't see the point in making these kinds of changes to her character.
No.
And
obviously, she's been successful the way she's been.
Yeah.
She's one of the greatest characters to come out of the cartoons before the comics.
Right.
She is the greatest.
She is.
Because even though the other ones have been used in comics, Renee Montoya, Live Wire from Superman.
Yeah.
Harley is the greatest.
She is. She was the one that was done the most injustice here.
Yeah.
And that's saying something, because I don't think most of the other characters that we've seen were done an injustice.
No.
It's just she was such a catastrophic change.
Yes.
Because I don't want to bash this, because again, I still enjoy what we got. But this was such a major change. You were right. This should have been a different character.
Yeah.
They should have done something else, because they changed way too much here.
Of all the slight changes in the show, this is the one I absolutely cannot get behind.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even a slight change.
No, I'm saying there are other slight changes in the show.
Yeah.
This is one thing I cannot get behind. This was not for me.
Well, the one thing I'll say about Harley Quinn is this. Now, I'm going to put this. Let me just give you guys a heads up. This is not my number one favorite Harley Quinn at all. Not even close. If you're going to rank Harley Quinns, Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, the DCU live action movies, the Harley Quinns, those could be my top 4, top 5 my favorite Harley Quinns. I accepted the change in this Harley Quinn only because it's a different Batman show. So I accepted that. And I personally love the design. It's not the greatest design of Harley Quinn, absolutely not. But I didn't mind the changes. So I'm not as mad as a lot of people were.
I think that if the coloring would have been different, the costume design would have been a lot better.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I think it really is just the coloring that throws that entire costume
Right.
off.
Personally, I thought it fit the Harley Quinn in terms of costume. It's just the coloring was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that people could like have an issue with. But I was like, I have no problems with it. I mean, would I like to see the original Harley Quinn? Sure, but different? Why not?
Yeah.
I didn't mind. Which we are going to see more of her in season 2. I can guarantee you we'll see more of her because
we better. She
because
got away.
because apparently, spoilers, she didn't die, which a lot of people thought she did. But you saw at the end of the episode, she called she called one of the person that she actually is in love with, and she's not dead. So there you go.
Yeah.
Underrated Harley Quinn performance. The girl who played Starfire, Hayden Welch.
Okay. Yeah.
And Assault on Arkham.
Agreed.
Don't worry, I fell on my head.
That's not like a Harley Quinn I would like.
Assault on Arkham. It's been too long since I've seen that.
That
I
movie
need to
overall
rewatch
is
it.
underrated.
It is. The costume switch up for Batman.
Yeah.
During it, that was really good. I honestly, that's got to be one of my favorite parts of it. You're not. I love it. I need to rewatch it soon.
Denzel, what have they done to you?
What character should we talk about next? Because honestly, I think that we could go on trashing Harley Quinn. I just
let's talk about those kids in the Nocturne episode.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Holy crap! They were all nods, right? Like there's no way that they weren't. The only one that we didn't get was Tim.
Yeah. So they just threw almost every Robin in our face in one episode.
Yeah. Dickie, Jace, Cassie. Yeah.
Carrie.
Oh, yeah, Carrie. Sorry, my bad.
And Stephanie
No,
Brown.
Tim and Cassie were the only two ones that we didn't get.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think Cassie was brought up at any other
No.
point.
Did you catch that?
And no, I did not catch that.
In the Nocturne episode, all the little orphan kids, those were all different Robins.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Yeah.
Batgirls.
Wow, I did not know that.
Steffi is Stephanie Brown, Batgirl.
Wow, that's okay.
Carrie is Carrie Kelly, Robin.
Dang, okay.
Jace is Jason Todd.
Whoa.
Dickie was Dick Grayson.
Man, that episode bumps up for me for that one too.
Yeah, it
Well,
was good.
the episode of whole was pretty great. Which, of course, when people were going to ask this question. Man, how in the world did a girl actually lift out the weight? Oh, now you know how. She actually did it.
Turns out she was killing children.
Yeah, like literally,
Just
like
a casual Monday.
yeah.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Which
she went on a binge.
which I love that one because you felt so bad for this kid because
Shut up.
Oh, you mean for her? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for the other kids.
Shut up. Calm down, Anakin. Jesus Christ.
yeah, exactly. This is not a Star Wars episode. Shut up.
Youngling Slayer over here. Jeez. No,
But anyway, yeah, get like concentrate to me on this one. Yeah, because yeah, I love the episode. It was great. I loved it. And
it had one of the best endings in my opinion.
absolutely.
I always love when Batman gets I love when Batman gets personal and actually sentimental with children.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like when he's just trying to help them.
Ace.
Yeah, Ace
Oh.
immediately came to mind during that scene. Yeah,
That
that was
messed
such a
me up.
touching moment. Yeah,
Ace messed me up.
Ace messed up an entire generation of kids.
Oh
Like-
gosh.
like those were it's the same kind of vibe. Like
Yeah.
he's a lot of instances of Batman not being great with the children is there's a lot of instances in the comics where he leaves that up to Robin, where he leaves that up to Nightwing, where he leaves that up to everybody else whose lives he's touched.
Not just the men, but the women.
Shut up. a lot. There are a lot of instances in the comics where he brushes off the children and he leaves them for his proteges, and he doesn't have anybody here, so it's easy enough for him to be a dick to the children here, which he's a dick.
To Alfred.
And he's a dick to Alfred, and that we'll get to that. So he could have easily been a dick here to this kid, but I'm glad that they kept that side of Batman for this. I'm glad that they gave that to him, where he's able to reach out to help children, where that is his goal in the moment, is to help a child. And we get that later on too with the Firefly episode,
No,
where
earlier.
Was it?
Firefly was 4.
Yeah, that's right. This is 6, right?
8.
Was it 8?
Yeah. Our second favorite episode was 7. And then it was the toothpaste part last.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Bang Bang for 7. Since we mentioned Alfred, we'll mention that next, and then we'll go to that.
Yeah. No, I like when Batman's sensitive with kids.
Yes.
I really love that, and like I said, he could have easily been a dick here, but I'm glad that. Shut up. Just because you would have let her die doesn't mean anything. I just because Steffi was like, well, you don't have to save her, and he's like, no child deserves this.
Yeah.
And he wraps her up with his own cape, and he carries her off, and that's the kind of Batman that I like. I like one who's not afraid to get down and dirty in business, but also one who has that compassionate side, who's always looking to reach out and help.
Absolutely.
And it's one of my favorite kind of Batman moments. That was definitely one of my favorite moments in this entire season.
I think when Robin adopts
Batman.
when Robert adopts Dick, I think it's going to be very special.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, Alfred.
I gotta say this real quickly. I love the design of Alfred.
Well, that
I
was
really
the
like
OG design.
Yeah, early
it,
comics.
It's great. I love it. That's a great design.
Yeah, I was a
He
fan of
a complete
it.
jerk to my boy.
Yeah, I don't get why it didn't click for Bruce before fucking now. Because he warmed up a little bit at the end of the season. Why the fuck didn't you warm up sooner?
He's calling him Pennyworth even. He's not even calling him by his first name.
He's doing the equivalent of like slamming doors in the faces of their parents kind of shit the entire season. Like the fucking we compared it to the Batman. To 2022's The Batman. We compared it to that, where he's not being great to Alfred like the entire fucking
this
time.
is worse though.
No, this was definitely fucking worse, because at least Bruce turned around earlier on, along with at least Bruce was being a little more respectful with Alfred.
Yeah, he wasn't like snapping at him and stuff.
Yeah, this one he was treating him as the help the entire fucking time, instead of the man who helped raise him.
Lucius even makes a comment about that.
Yeah.
Like, you know where I'm from, we treat the staff better or something.
Yeah, he was like, we treat them as people.
Yeah.
Like, dude. I just, like, the second that you're getting called out by this other fucking dude, and the fact that he made a fucking comment, because it wasn't even unprompted. It's not like Lucius was like, oh, well, you could treat Alfred better. Like, Batman was like, why do you treat them this way? Like, why do you talk to Alfred like that? Because he's not a dick. Because he's respectful, you fucking entitled piece of shit. Oh my God.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I watched the whole show. I was trying to figure out when Alfred was like mean, like the entire season. Like, give me some context, because I didn't think he was that.
Alfred was never mean.
Alfred was only supportive. Yeah, Bruce
Batman
was the one being a dick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He didn't even call him Alfred by his first name till the last episode.
Yeah. He was constantly calling him like the butler and Pennyworth.
Yeah.
Like
just cold.
It was totally emotionless. And like, I get it. Like, Batman's normally portrayed as an emotionless kind of character. But Alfred is one of the only fucking people that Bruce holds near and dear to his fucking heart before he gets the children.
Emotionless, what we should all aspire to be.
Shut up. No, he's a fucking dick. I just like, That's a pet peeve for me in real life.
Right, right.
Like when you treat people who are helping you and supporting you as if they're lesser than you.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a fucking Walmart and you treat the cashier like a piece of shit, like that's a pet peeve of mine. So seeing a character like this who's really only ever had Alfred as a father figure in his fucking life and treats him as such.
For the last 20 years, 15 years.
Yeah. Like I just growing up with that kind of character, watching this version of Bruce be a fucking absolute entitled prick. Just I fucking hated it.
I grew up on the animated series, and he wasn't the nicest Alfred, but he wasn't like bad either.
Right.
It was more playful in a way, the original.
Yeah, like they were like bouncing ping pong balls back and forth.
Yeah, like
that's what it was. They were trading blows.
yeah. Like
Man, I did not catch that.
I
I didn't
only
know
throw
Batman was
butlers out
that.
the
I didn't
window.
know Batman was that rude. But again, I was just like, I'm totally fine with this. So, I'm gonna be a lot more forgiving in this one.
Well, I mean, it's just we were constantly commenting on it every single fucking time it happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, like, I feel like for you, I can only assume that when you were watching through, like, you were just continuously going on, you weren't really making a whole lot of comments.
you're just sitting there glued to it.
Yeah,
I was enjoying like the whole thing. I'll tell you this though. I believe it was episode 9. I do believe is when he was acting like Two-Face. When he like hung up the phone on Alfred. I was like, "Whoa, Batman, that's a bit rude."
Yeah,
there.
no, that's one of the prime examples of him being a complete asshole.
Yeah.
And I was just
Like,
like,
he was just
"You're
being a
you're
piece
you're
of
not
shit.
supposed to act like Two-Face. What the heck? Like that's actually
Well, I think
weird
that
of you."
I think that was part of it because there is a whole identity thing with Batman.
Right.
But and
yeah.
we see that all throughout because anytime that he's not out and about as Bruce, he's just the Batman.
Yeah.
But what I learned, you might want to try this. What I did it while I was watching Rebel Moon. If something came to mind while I was watching it, I'd pause the movie and write it down on my phone.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like a whole plot point for Rebel Moon right now. Like I've got like 20 things.
Which
15 things.
we'll get to that when we record in that section. But
Yeah.
but here's what I'll say though about the whole thing. It's not supposed to be Batman the Animated Series. This is like a completely different show. So
Yeah.
and honestly, at least for me, and you might disagree with me at this one, which is totally fine. If this was like Batman the Animated Series, the show would not be this interesting. Like if it was like exactly like Batman the Animated Series, I don't know. It would be like as memorable or something like that. Like
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, because if you want to do something very different with the Batman universe, like they did with Batman Beyond, this takes place like multiple years ago after Batman the Animated Series, and Bruce Wayne's an old man.
Yeah.
This one here, this is like way before Batman the Animated Series. This is like back in 1939, and they're doing something like incredibly different with the entire universe.
It was a period piece.
Right,
Yes.
exactly, right. So if it was like that show, I personally don't think it would be like as interesting as those shows are. So I'll say this, that I definitely love the show, but is it top notch like Batman the Animated Series? Please. Anything when you try to top Batman the Animated Series, it's a tough thing to do. Like, I'll probably put this probably in my top 5. Like, I love the show. But Batman the Animated Series probably will still be my number 1. Probably Batman Beyond at number 2. So
I've got the Batman at number 2.
well, there you go. So, yeah, it's interesting how yeah, I mean, pretty sure both audience and critics agreed that it's a great show. Which that does lead to one thing: where's the Joker?
We'll discuss that later.
Yeah. There's a couple more things I like to discuss. before
Oh,
we
okay.
get
I'm
to
sorry. Okay.
Episode 7.
I was super excited for Onomatopoeia.
Yes.
I was. I love I love anytime that he pops up. Honestly, I just love the concept of the character. We talked about this a little bit when we were watching it. He shouldn't have been rolling with the hit squad.
No, he's a solo act.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like that would have created a more interesting piece of television here.
In a way, I feel like he's like Deadshot, like a lone assassin.
Yeah. Well, I just it.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I personally didn't know much about the character. Like, my first, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience, I guess, with him was literally the day before and that morning.
Yeah.
When I read Green Arrow: The Sounds of Violence.
So that was your first experience with him?
Yeah.
You've never seen like any other shit with onomatopoeia? Or?
He's not been in any shows or anything, has he?
I think he's been in one thing, not in any of the movies.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in any of the shows either.
I'd have to do a rewatch of at least Batman Brave and the Bold.
I was gonna say he might have been Brave and the Bold because that's the only one I really didn't get through.
I don't think he pops up in that one
either. But he wouldn't be in Batman Beyond.
No, he wouldn't be.
Because I've seen Beware the Batman, I've seen the Batman, and I've seen obviously the animated series.
Yeah.
I've seen all of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
I swear I've seen him somewhere else.
He wasn't in the Arrowverse at all.
No. No,
I would have loved to see Stephen Amell go up against him.
That would have been really cool, honestly. James Gunn, listen, buddy, if you catch this, please bring onomatopoeia to the DCU.
Yes.
Like I think that he could really fucking nail it. No, he shouldn't have been rolling with the Hit Squad. I think that he would have worked a lot better with this as a solo act. I think that it would have been more interesting in that episode because that was one of my least favorite episodes. Even though onomatopoeia is one of my favorite villains in any Rogues Gallery.
James Gunn, David Dastmalchian would be good for the role too.
Yes, 100%. I'm fully on board with that. Holy shit. Also, please make it so he doesn't just say sounds. I would like a couple actual fucking lines from him too. That was one of my gripes about this episode. Because he doesn't just say sounds. He has the capability of actually giving lines and speaking sentences.
Yeah, I have a suggestion. Find James Gunn on Twitter, post this episode to him so he can watch it if that's possible. You should do that.
I've seen it.
I mean, that would be cool if you
James Gunn is on top of everything.
He is.
That's true, but
If
you
see this, so you are a hero.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you got to at least try and see it because I would love to talk to him and like his whole comic book genius he had in his brain. I would love to see that.
Well, him and Peter Safran have a lot of shit going on right now, and they're both nailing it so far. Just off the preview shit that we've seen.
Yeah. But I enjoyed episode 7. I did enjoy that one.
I thought it was good. It was one of my least favorite of the
Creature
season.
Commandos.
I cannot wait for Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good.
Which I still have not yet watched the trailer, but I will. I'll definitely watch it.
We're watching that later.
The
I want to
Monster Squad.
rewatch the trailer.
The Monster Squad.
I still need to get that on 4K.
I've not seen it.
I love Monster Squad so
I've got
much.
it, but I haven't watched it yet.
My dad showed it to me when I was like 10. Wolfman's got nards. I just love it so much. Well, I thought it didn't count.
We got Christina Ricci as Catwoman. I think this is one of the last.
Oh
few things.
yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that Catwoman costume.
Yeah, you
that
guys
was,
go ahead on this.
That was great.
I wasn't the biggest fan.
Really?
I didn't like how they changed the origin.
Yes, that's
That
what
was
I
my
was going to
biggest
say.
issue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Catwoman's not a rich who steals to stay rich. She was poor and stole to make herself. Yeah.
Right.
That's another like fundamental changing the origin. Or changing the dynamic of the character.
Well, I don't think it changed it nearly as much as Harley Quinn did because there was still that playfulness there.
Yeah.
There was back and forth quips,
Yeah.
and I feel like for being an early on Catwoman, it worked.
Yes.
I agree. I don't like the change in origins, but I think that now that that's aside. I think that when she comes back, and she will fucking come back.
Yeah.
There's no way they don't bring her back for season 2. Catwoman's one of those characters that don't stay gone.
No.
And I can't wait for her to come back because I want her to remain a romantic foil.
Yeah. In terms of quips, one will never be touched though from Batman Hush. Love the view. That's the only thing you're getting tonight.
Yeah, I agree with John. The design was great, and that's her first appearance, costume and everything. This is, I can't overstate it enough. I think that almost every single design in the show was amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Minus Harley.
Again, If it would have been different colors, that costume design would have been
Yes,
amazing.
if it would have been the red and black, it would have been amazing.
Yes, it's just the colors that really offset how good that design is.
Yes.
And then obviously we talked about Two-Face earlier.
Yeah.
I think the design with Catwoman was really good. We got the Catmobile,
Yes.
which was insane.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I liked that she was just like, "Ooh, nice car. I need one of those." And then she just had her unpaid maid like retrofit her car, her Rolls Royce.
Here you
I
go,
thought that
Johnny.
was really funny. Honestly, I hope that we get the return of the Catmobile. I love that. Like, a little more screen time for that car would be nice.
Before we talk about the finale and our hopes for season 2, we'll just mention the cops that are prevalent in the show. We got Bullock,
Yeah.
Glass,
Yeah.
and Montoya.
Yeah.
And Harvey is dirty in this. I think he's going to change, though.
I hope he will. There's a lot more promise for him changing in this version of Two-Face than there is in like every other version. Because even
No, Harvey Bullock.
Harvey?
I feel like there's a chance he might change.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Not with how crooked he was. Because one thing that we haven't talked about is Firefly.
Yeah.
That right there. Like Harvey, no. I don't solely because of the Firefly episode. I don't think Harvey's changing.
Well,
Because Harvey was getting offended that he wasn't thought or that he was being when he was being played by Two-Face against Flash. Harvey was upset that he wasn't being seen as the brains.
yeah,
So that shows that he's proud of what he's doing.
yeah, I took that a different way. I
Yeah.
thought like he'd take it like I'm not really. This isn't my thing.
No, like I think that he was too proud of what he was doing. That's what was going on. I think it was his ego. I don't think that Harvey's going to change.
Okay.
That's the thing about Harvey. Harvey never really changes. He's always been a scumbag detective.
Either a good or a bad one.
Yeah,
Because in the animated series, he's more of a good cop.
he's better in that one.
Yeah.
But he's just always been a scumbag, and the fact that he's dirty in this, no, I don't think he's changing. I just don't see it.
I would love Harvey in the Batman universe, though. The movies.
I think it would be interesting. Honestly, I think that they could pull off a dirty cop like that really well.
Yes. The appearance at the end.
This is early Joker,
Yes.
so I don't really have a whole lot to say about it just yet.
I don't either, because that does lead me to question. But then my brain answered the question: why did Joker not appear in any of the episodes? Oh, because they're waiting for season 2. Because they would not be doing a season 2 if season 1 was not successful. Because
They confirmed it.
Yeah.
well, there you go. See, Mitch, here's my suggestion. Bane should appear. Joker, of course, will be in there. Like, give out the big villains, like Bane or Joker and all that stuff.
There was one thing that we didn't mention. Scarecrow was name dropped in this.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Harley mentioned him in her main episode,
that. Okay.
where she was talking about either former colleague or former mentor,
Okay.
and it was Crane.
Okay.
Like she fully name dropped him. I think that he's going to show up in the second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Matthew and I were watching it, we weren't expecting Joker to show up.
Right.
Like we were expecting Joker to be end of season 2, if not season 3 appearance.
That's why I was thinking season 3.
Yeah, and I honestly, personally, I would think that I would have preferred it.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why I'll be okay with Joker being in season 2 is if he's the running antagonist for the entire season,
Yes.
or at least most of the season, or if him and Harley team up.
Yes.
Because I would like to see him rub off on Harley.
Because maybe then she'll loosen up.
Yeah, and I not to say that I want the romantic interest of Harley
Right.
to change, because I don't I like the fact that it's Harley and Renee.
Yeah.
I like that. Honestly, that's my favorite aside from Harley and Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good pairing, and I don't want that to change for season 2.
Right.
But I would love for them to at least team up season 2 because exactly what you said. I want her to loosen up. I want her to be more like the Harley that we know and love.
And maybe she will get the red and black costume then.
Yeah, I hope so.
I was gonna say if she grows it, if we get red and black version of that, I'll be great.
Yeah.
And she loosens up a little bit.
It was a good design. It's the coloring.
Yeah.
If you could pick 5 villains for season 2, what do you got?
Joker would be one for sure.
I guess Jones going first.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Bane for me would be 2. I personally like to see a 1940s version of Mr. Freeze. So I'll put that at 3. 2 more. Let me think for a moment here. Maybe the other Penguin, like the original Penguin that we actually know, like the 30s version of the Penguin. I'll put that at 4. I personally would like to see Mr. and Mrs. Penguin like team up. That actually would be cool, honestly. I would like to see that. And then 5, Harley Quinn if they can actually bring the original design.
Okay.
Well, I was counting new villains. Since Joker's coming already, like I'm not going to mention. I'm going to go a little bit more of a deep dive.
Okay.
I'm going to say Hugo Strange.
Okay. Yeah.
Ventriloquist in Scarface.
Yeah. All right.
Black Mask. I might go Mr. Freeze. And then Scarecrow.
Okay.
I don't think Bane should be, assuming the show goes for 5+ seasons. Let's say it goes for 5 seasons. I don't think Bane should be till like season 4. I feel like that's a big build-up character. That
Okay.
because of the backbreaking thing.
Gotcha.
Right.
Several years down the line.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion, though, on that.
Okay. Firstly, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
He's by far my favorite Batman villain.
I think we can all agree on Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
We all know what happened to Batman and Robin on that one. Didn't turn out so good.
There's better versions of Mr. Freeze out there.
Absolutely.
It's not just the Batman and Robin version.
Exactly. Yep.
Although if Arnold would return for Mr. Freeze for this, I'd be super down.
That's not gonna happen.
They could, considering that it wouldn't be a physical role.
Right.
I
So,
actually really enjoy
I'd
the
be down
Mr.
for
Freeze
it.
from the Batman.
Yeah,
That's actually really cool. That was not even intended.
bullshit.
No, it wasn't. I actually did not even think of that till after.
Don't believe you.
No, if it was me, I'd claim it. I didn't even think of that.
You see it. I'm not gonna make that comment. Never mind.
Yeah. But anyway, Mr. Freeze. What
Mr.
else you got?
Freeze. I would like to see. Riddler would be interesting. I think that would be a cool pull.
Yeah.
Probably quite inquisitive.
Shut the fuck up. Like I said, I think that we're getting Scarecrow in season 3 or season 2. Jokingly saying Condiment King, but I don't want him as an actual main episode villain.
Yeah.
I want it's exactly what I said earlier about him popping up in the Reeveverse, where I would want it to be like a quick stop and shop.
Yeah.
Like I think that he should be reserved to a pit stop thing because this is a much more serious show.
Yeah.
And Condiment King isn't exactly a serious villain by any means.
If he's spitting in a Batman show, it's Brave and the Bold Order 66.
Yeah. I would like him to be a quick stop villain.
Like a throwaway villain.
Yeah, like he could even be in a newspaper clipping or something. Like I'd be fine with that.
Or a TV report of like Batman knocking him out with one punch.
Yeah. I think my last one would. Man, I'm between 2. Yeah, fuck. Oh, okay, fuck it. Killer Moth.
Okay. I'm throwing in one more too, because it's darker. Professor Pig would work really well in this.
Yes, agreed.
That would
I'd
be
super down
interesting.
for that.
That would be very interesting.
I will say, since we talked about villains after season 2, one villain that I do eventually want to see show up would be Man-Bat. because I feel like Man-Bat's a very interesting character.
Yes.
The few times that he pops up, and it may just be because I've been reading High Republic, so I've been thinking about the Catacoot. But Man-Bat is so underrepresented in the DC universe, in my opinion.
Yes.
And especially in on-screen media.
Yes.
And I want him to make his return sometime soon. Because we haven't seen him in a while.
There are a lot of villains that are very underutilized
Yes.
in Batman content.
Mm.
Even Black Mask is kind of underutilized. And he's been in a movie.
That's true. That's true. And the version that he was in the movie wasn't even as bad as he could, or quote unquote bad as he could be.
Right.
Like,
Black Mask is cold.
yeah.
He's sadistic.
Yeah, he was more of a snob, kind of like pansy-ish kind of character in
Artsy,
Birds of
yeah.
Prey. Yeah, I just he was.
Batwoman, it wasn't horrible. He was on Batwoman, but
Yeah, I never got past like the first episode of
Yeah.
Batwoman, so
Batwoman's not the best.
I haven't heard a whole lot of good things about it.
And I was so excited for it too, and I didn't even
Same.
watch. I didn't even watch a single episode.
The
Well,
best part
if
of
Ruby
Bat-
would have stayed, I would have been more down for
Huh?
it. If Ruby would have stayed, I would have been more down for it.
I like the new girl better.
I've heard better things about her.
Yeah.
It's just I felt like Ruby really nailed that version.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Batman before I get to my final thought about this
Mm.
is the villain of Batwoman, like the overarching villain, was amazing. Alice.
Yeah.
I forget her name, but she was also in the short-lived Birds of Prey TV show.
I think I know who you're talking about.
She played Black Canary's daughter in that.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
but yeah, she was amazing in that role.
Okay.
And I'd honestly love a Batwoman movie with Alice.
Honestly, I'd do anything for Batwoman in general.
Yeah, give us a Batwoman movie, and have it hook up to the DCU later, and have Alice meet Mad Hatter.
Oh, Mad Hatter.
I
Can I
didn't
change
think of that
my-
till now. Yeah,
Can I change my list?
Yeah,
I'll actually swap out Condiment King for Mad Hatter.
yep. Mad Hatter would be
legit.
great in this.
Yeah, I think that he would be a wonderful addition.
He could be a main villain, like overarching through the whole season.
He could. Well, I mean, now that we've got Joker, I feel like doing that with any other villain would be kind of undermining, unless it were Court of Owls or if it were Professor Pig.
Well,
Because I think that Professor Pig could be a
Yes.
long-standing villain.
I was gonna say Court of Owls. This is always what I say. Court of Owls, if you're doing a TV show, should be the villains of the final season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Mm.
Court of Owls should be the Thanos of the Batman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My last thought, not necessarily about this show, but just DC animation in general. We have Cape Crusader. We have My Adventures with Superman. Give us a Wonder Woman cartoon.
I'd appreciate that. I really would. I think that they could do really interesting things with it.
DC works best when you have the Trinity all going at once.
My only contingency, my only caveat for a Wonder Woman show would be make her a fucking Amazonian.
Yes.
Like, Amazonians are huge. They're fucking tall as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer 8-foot Wonder Woman. It's one of my favorite things about New Frontier.
Yeah.
That kind of depiction. I really love that. It fits. I think it works really well. That would be my one caveat for a Wonder Woman show. Make her fucking tall. She should be tall. She's a fucking Amazonian.
So overall, what are we giving this? 4.5?
Yeah, I'll say 4.5. I'd agree with that.
Well, I loved the whole thing, so I'll give it a full 10. So I loved it.
We meant 4.5 out of 10. By the way, Matthew.
Yeah. Apparently. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
And make sure to leave us comments. If you're going to leave criticism, please be constructive about it. Don't
Yes,
be an
please.
asshole.
Remember to leave us comments, not condiments.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if they want to spurt some condiments in the comment section, they
Yeah.
can.
Just put some ketchup emojis on the post.
And we'll
I'm
have
going there right now.
and we'll have more Batman content coming to you very soon for the podcast. So stay tuned for more Batman content.
Yes, stay tuned. Make sure to check out our social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
Threads.
Threads. We'll be adding TikTok at some point. We don't know when. We kind of got a battle royale that one.
We got to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure to check us out basically everywhere.
Yes, please.
Make sure to leave us a rating if you're listening to this. And make sure to share it. It helps us out a lot.
If you want to
believe it
see
or not.
banter, visit our Twitter. That's where the banter's at.
Yeah. We've got a two-face thing going on with the podcast Twitter.
Absolutely. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
We'll see you all next time. Have a great night.
God bless.
We have been the Cinema Asylum Podcast. You guys were awesome. Thanks for coming out. Good night.